Here we go. You are live. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight on my podcast. I'm really excited tonight. I have a special guest on with me. Hopefully, you enjoy the evening. He's well known in this part of New Jersey, a very good musician, a good friend. It's Eddie Testa. Eddie, I got you on board. How are you tonight?
Hello, George. How are you tonight?
Well, better than the other night for sure. The technology struggles with me continue. You know what I mean? But we
Mhm.
figured it out. Thank goodness, and we rescheduled. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. You're very busy, and thank you for that for tonight.
No problem, man.
So, I saw you yesterday, and I don't know how you do it. All these shows that you do, how do you do it? How do you have all this energy to do this?
I think I would equate it to, if you whatever you love to do, doesn't matter how tired you are, whether you like golfing or painting or bowling, whatever. You always find time to do it, and because you love it, it's a love. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it.
What's your favorite thing that you love about it?
So yeah, it's something that people always say, "How do you do it?" Well, I know guys that love to golf and they work their butts off all day, and 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night in the summertime they're out on the doing 18 holes. So, you know, it's whatever you love to do. That's what you're going to do.
I
Uh,
said this to you earlier, and I when I go to shows when I go to your shows or anybody's show, I'm amazed by musicians. I just the talent that you guys have, from you, singers to guitar players to horns and drummers. I always wanted to be a drummer, and I think Ilya is one of the best drummers. And I told you that I've seen a lot of drummers in this part of Jersey. He's a top dog, and I said to you, the guy is just a beast. I mean, one show I came to see at you guys last year, and I mentioned it to you. It was your third show. I just don't. The energy that you guys still have amazes me. Where do you get it from, especially when you do a third show?
I think it's not wanting to disappoint anyone, and we have a saying in the band: we're going to give them 100% of whatever we have, and or that hundred whatever we give out is the 100% of what we have at that moment. So that's basically the feeling of the band. Let's give them everything we got every time we play. And doing 2 shows a day or 3 shows a day, it's kind of foolish in a way, but we have a problem of saying no to people. That seems to be the biggest problem.
Now,
So
you
we try to,
all generally have significant others, right?
yes.
And I think that's very important in what profession that anybody's in. And I've met your wife. She's a good person. She's been how did the spouses and significant others put up with the busy schedule? Specifically, being a musician, you get a lot of people, just look at you giggly eyed and think you're a superstar, which you are. But how your significant others deal with that schedule?
Um, I think that's individual relationships. Mine, it's a solid foundation. I'm not going nowhere. She's not going nowhere. She knows what she got into when she met me, and that's my love. That's my passion, and she respects that. I respect her. So it's you know, other people in the band, like Ilya's wife. She's a musician herself, so she knows the score. Neil's wife, the keyboard player. Everybody's wife or girlfriend is has been in bands or is in bands still. So they know that the priority is the music in the show. So
Okay.
I think everybody in this band, that's definitely the case. So we never have a problem with that. It's when you go outside those boundaries and those things that you can mess your life up. So why do that?
Sure. How did you first get into the music business, and what was the moment you knew you wanted to do this?
Um, I've known all my life that I wanted to be in a band and play and write songs and things like that. Probably, you know, like everybody else's story. You've seen Elvis on, you've seen the Beatles, whatever, and it just inspired you, inspired me, and it always something I always wanted to do. I actually, the reality is, I never really wanted to be a performer. I really always wanted to be a songwriter, but I guess my songs were never good enough for me just to be to make a living making a songwriter, and I got kind of pushed into singing when I was 14, 15. I mean, I was in talent shows in sixth, seventh, and eighth grade and stuff like that. But I was a drummer back then. I was like a singing drummer. So I wanted to be like all the singing drummers that were around in the 70s, the Don Henleys and the Phil Collins and stuff. And but I got into a traveling band when I was 15, and and then I became a singer. I fronted the band at that age, and we did colleges and stuff like that. And that was kind of like my first uh, getting into being the front in the band.
Like I told you when I was in high school, I went to see. I had friends that did bands, and we'd always go to their house in the garage. I mean, you and I aren't that far apart in age. Did you do a lot of that type of stuff, or did you go out to bars? And you said at age
No, we
15,
were always
where did
we
you?
were Freehold. I grew up in Freehold, and Freehold was like you had bands on every corner. I swear to you, everybody had a band, and we'd go over and watch this band, watch that band, see Bystander. Um, there were so many different bands in Freehold. We would hold our own band talent shows in people's backyards. 4 or 5 bands would show up. Uh, it was so we were always supportive of each other back in the day. There were so many bands. The Space Cricket, Jimmy Arcolia were still friends. Uh, the Skidmore boys. They taught him how to play drums, and then he went on to be in different bands. And I was in a band with different guys all over the place. I can't even remember half the things I'd done.
Who's your biggest music influence? Could be non-musical influence that who you look up to. Book wise, I mean, it could be books, movies, people. It could be another musician. Who shapes your music work? The music that you write or
Well,
the music that you sing.
I always loved the R&B stuff. I always loved the Motown stuff. I love the dance stuff, the rock stuff. I like it all. I'd be a Jackson 5 fan, and I'd be a Eagles fan, and I'd like Jethro Tull. I liked everybody. Whatever music was out there, I was into it. So, but
You,
I you
you play
know,
the R&B stuff. When you play the R&B stuff, that gets. I like. See, I I used to go see bands a lot, but I was more of a club guy. When you play that R&B stuff, I get up and start dancing. To be honest with you,
well,
I
that's
like
a
that
good
part of
thing.
it.
That's
When
why
you do that.
that's why we mix it up. We mix it up where we do a little bit of everything, so it satisfies not only each individual person in the band, but it satisfies the people that come to see you. It doesn't get boring. You know, we try not to. The band that right now we try not to do the same song. Like if you're playing 3 nights in a row, you don't want, and people come and see you 3 nights in a row. You don't want them to see the same thing. You might repeat 2 or 3 songs, 4 songs, but really, if you come and see us, you see different. We try to mix it up as best as possible.
I
So
noticed last night when I got to your show at Participation in Lake Como. If anybody doesn't know where that's at, I had not been there in a while. The last time I was there to watch you guys play, I noticed, and I was asked what music you played last night. I said, you know what? He had like 4 or 5 different songs. So you guys must work on different songs. I mean, I'm sure you guys practice, correct?
we do not rehearse.
You do not rehearse.
No, we just put a song out there. We say everybody learn it by such and such a day, and believe me, the first time or the second time, maybe even sometimes the third time we played it, it's horrible. But we keep doing it, and then it gets better. And then we say, all right, after the fifth, sixth time, that a song really stinks, we do it horribly. Like it's not a song for the band, but we think it's a song that we could do, and we just can't it. But um, somebody if somebody comes up, Ron says, "Hey, let's do this song." We give it a shot, and then it gets better because a lot of times you're playing so much you don't have time to sit in a rehearsal and rehearse a song. The only time we do rehearse, we have that any big show that we have, like we have the Pony Show on February 7th.
Right.
We'll do 2 or 3 rehearsals because we're rehearsing with other singers. We're rehearsing with the horn section. We want to get the arrangements right for the other singers and new songs. See, what people don't understand about when we do a Vogel show or a Pony show, 99% of the time, you're not going to hear any of the songs that we do when we're playing in Bar A. We're doing all new stuff because we don't want. First of all, we're not a band that you have to pay to go see us. So when we ask you to go see us and pay, where you should expect a different show and a better show because you paid for that, and it's going to be a different show. Not that it's a better show, but it's a more expanded show. I mean, we're doing using the Asbury Jukes. So, when we do the February 7th show, we got to do at Southside Johnny Tunes. So, that's part of the shtick. Uh, so we have to. We've done it. We've done 2 shows, and we just keep adding an extra. We always do the standard Southside stuff, but we'll add a different song that he did or something along the way. But then we learn 20 other songs that we probably will never play again in our lives. So it's exciting for the band to do that too, but it's a lot of work that we do rehearse for.
So being a Freehold guy, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm not a big fan of his music, and I know I'm probably one of the few, and I'm just not from here, and it's okay. How many times have you played with Bruce Springsteen?
Um, I played with him once, actual that we sat and sang together and played. Another time we had when he gave me my 15 minutes of fame at the Wonder Bar when all the power went out. Um, we were supposed to do a whole show with him. We had a whole hour's worth of music we were going to do with him. We rehearsed it. We everything. But unfortunately, the power went out, and that was I forget what year that was, but that never happened. Even though he was there hanging out, but he's come to see us play quite a few times, and you know you don't ask him to come up. He if he wants to come up, he'll just say, "Can I come up?" And then he come up. Simple.
I have to give
But
him his kudos. I
it's not,
mean,
huh?
I have to give him his kudos. I mean, put politics aside, it sounds like he supports a lot of the musicians in the Asbury Park music scene, and I see that, and I have to give him his kudos for that. Is that true?
Absolutely, absolutely. That he supports us. He's never not said hello to me. He's never denied me to come backstage and hang out if I asked. See, I'm not one of those guys that just go and think I take it for granted that because I'm a freehold boy, he's a freehold boy, that he's going to accept me. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to anybody that night if he's at the Pony or at the Wonder Bar. I always give him the space, always did, and you know, I kind of feel I've known him since I'm 8, so there obviously there's many years in between. I never hung out with him or anything like that. I've not gone to his house and drank a beer with him, but when we see each other and he's there and I'm there, we talk. But I like to keep that to myself, and I don't want to post it all over Facebook and be like, yeah, I'm with Bruce Springsteen. I'm with who, blah 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 blah. You know,
Right.
I'm not that guy. maybe I should have been that guy. Maybe it would have got me further. Maybe more people would have noticed me. I don't know. I just know how I am, and I'm not the guy to be always pushing that I'm somewhere with someone famous. I've been around a lot of
Sounds
famous people all my life.
Sounds like it's obvious. I mean, you told me when you started playing, there was so many corner spots and freehold. There's no doubt he's a major influence for everybody getting into the music industry here. Am I correct with that?
Well, I don't know if everybody was like Bruce Springsteen crazy. Um, I certainly wasn't Bruce Springsteen crazy, but I used to when I was a kid. I lived in a predominantly black neighborhood, and in his book he writes that he used to come down. They used to call it Little Texas, which is Center Street area. That's where I lived. And I used to sit on my porch, strum my guitar, waiting for, praying that he drove by and saw me and would stop and get out and hang out with me for a little bit. Never happened, but it was a dream. And it is what it is. But yeah, when you're a kid, man, the guy that is famous in that neighborhood, whatever band it is, the most famous band is the guy you look up to. And it just happened to be, it wasn't just Bruce. I was very good friends with George Thies, who was in his Bruce's first band. Um, I was friendly with him. He helped me along the way when I was coming up, gave me little tips here and there, you know. Uh, so showed me how to play guitar chords when I was young. So it was growing up in Frio, but like all the guys from Mission Dance, which used to be Bystander, now they're Mission Dance. Andy and all those guys, I used to look up to them too because they were doing they were the big band back then. Bystander was the biggest band in our area, and I love those guys. I used to go over their house all the time, watch them rehearse, get little tips, you know, to show how to run a band. I mean, they were a big influence, all those guys. And so there was different bands in the neighborhood that I would go check out, and then there were people that would come and check us out. So it was like I said, it was the community was great. Frio had a lot of talent, and they're still going. Most of these guys are still playing. So
Now, you do a lot of shows in the area. I remember speaking to you a while ago, and when I brought up, you told me you used to play in Brigantine. Now, how far do you go out now to perform? Do you just stay generally in the same areas, or do you go further down to South Jersey, or
we
don't
go
you do
down
that
South
anymore?
Jersey, we go to Atlantic City and Brigantine and Cape May. We go all over, and we go as far north as God. I played you know a lot of places up North Jersey.
You played up in Livingston
The problem with a
lately.
lot of the things are that number one, we don't. This is our Monmouth Ocean County area, mostly Point Pleasant area, Asbury. That's our shtick, right? I go out of there. I'm not getting 200 people following me up in you know the Green Knoll, but I'm building there. That's in Bridgewater. I love the place. I'm just starting to play there last year, and I have a good relationship with the owner, and we're going to try to build something. They have a nice outdoor deck, which I'll play this year. Because sometimes places you got to earn your way. You know, they don't want to just bring you up and give you a bunch of money, and you bring five people. And you don't want to go there and take their money and bring five people. So you have to work together, and it has to be know that it's a work in progress. I mean.
Well, yesterday I went into Bar A, and of course, I see this familiar characters because you have a great following, but I also notice a lot of different people. I couldn't believe when I walked in there yesterday. It was 4:40 on a Saturday afternoon, and the place was packed. And I said this to you. I was like, "What made people come out on a Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock? Could it have been the storm?" But there were so many different people there. I mean, of course, I saw many people that I knew, but I also saw many people that I had not seen at any of your shows, and that's got to be a good thing for you to hear that.
listen, whenever we have we have the best circle of friends that, you know, we bring music brings a lot of people together. Um, different groups go to different places. Sometimes not for not for the band. They go because they want to
Right.
hang with the people, you know. But having good music is definitely the plus. You know, the biggest compliment I've ever gotten playing music is that. A woman came up to me one night and she said, I love the band. The band's great, but I come here for the people. I feel safe. I feel good. I was a widower, and I was afraid to go out, and I had no friends around here. And all your friends welcomed me into this group and took me in, and I became friends with this person and that person. And then those people become friends with other people or those friends. And that I went to a party last night. All those people wouldn't have been together probably if they didn't come and see Daddy Testa band. Maybe they would have because they went to a different band and they all were there. I don't know. But, there is always so much love in the room when we're playing that it's like, it's unbelievable. It really is how everybody, listen, not everybody gets along with everybody all the time, but they get along with each other to get to have a good time at the shows. So
Also like
having
to do the happy birthday specials with certain people, which I think the crowd interaction is awesome. I think that was a special thing that you added. I've noticed other bands copycat it a little bit, but I think you're original with that. What made you want to do that? Getting people up on stage with the giving the happy birthdays.
to celebrate them. I mean, people have birthdays. It's nice to recognize them. It's nice to take the. I love the ones who are so shy that they don't want to come out of their shell, and we bring them out of their shell for 5 minutes. You know, it's like a tradition now. We do the same song all the time. We're having a party, happy birthday, but people dig it, people love it, and they want their friends. They bring their friends on their birthdays for us to do that now. So it's nice. It's nice and I'm glad other bands start doing things. A lot of times, you see bands and they do the same songs, and we try not to do the same songs. But when people sing "Happy Birthday" to somebody, I don't know if they're doing "We're having a party" and all that, but they're definitely bringing people up and wishing them happy birthdays and stuff like that, and that's cool. I have
It's
no
like
animosities towards anybody, man. I just want to go out, have fun, play, and I want people to enjoy us, and I want to enjoy the people.
kind of what they do in sports. Like I'm a big sports fan, as you know, and when something's successful in sports, it's a copycat league. You know what I mean? So musicians, if they see one doing it, I think, and they're successful with it, they seem like they want to implement it into their performance. So if it works for you, I guess, maybe I can get more people to come to my show. So I think it's like a copycat thing for the music industry too.
Well, I definitely agree with that. Listen, you're on here. Here's the thing with us. You're on the Jersey Shore. You can't get mad at a band that's going to play Springsteen because that's what people want to hear. You can't get mad at a band that plays Southside Johnny or any summertime music. It's the Jersey Shore. Uh, so it it is what it is. If people expect that, you know. If people want to do songs that we're doing, have fun. Everybody's got their own thing, man. Have fun with whatever you do. And the people, as long as the people are entertained and you're having fun, who cares? You know?
I had to learn that because I'm from Philly, so I had to get used to bands playing Springsteen songs. So I'm just being honest. I'm an honest guy, and
No,
like you said, if I'm in this part of Jersey, I got to understand where I'm at, and I got used to that because I was like, I don't want to hear Springsteen all the time, but I had to think, look, you're not from here, and Bruce is what it is. That's all you hear. So I accepted it. You know what I mean? It's just I was one of those. Was like, why the hell I got to keep playing Bruce for? But I had to realize where I was.
Well, listen, I played in Philly a lot when in the '80s. I played a couple times. You probably know the guy, Tommy Conwell and the Young Rumblers.
Yeah, his brother played for the Eagles. Tommy
Right.
Conwell's actually played was playing in Philly 2 weeks ago. I was on social media is great. I mean, the positive part of it, you start seeing other things going on because I like checking things out for people's lives and sports and music. But he was playing, and I remember seeing him at the cabaret, like Ambler Cabaret and
Yeah, I
Brewmore
played
Cabaret
there.
in Philly. So yeah, he's his brother played for the Eagles. So Tommy, I'm familiar with him.
Right, right. He had a hit song at one point too. But it
Yeah,
was funny because I was down at Dewey Beach this past summer, and I was leaving that Friday morning, but he was playing somewhere Friday night. Now I don't even know if he would remember me personally. He might remember the name because we back in that day we were Eddie and the Cruisers, even though
right.
it had nothing to do with the movie. But he might remember that name. That we did some work with them guys in Philly. I used to open up for him,
Right,
just
right.
like John Eddie was a big Philly guy, even though he was from Jersey, but he lived in Jersey, but he played a lot in Philly.
Yeah,
So
John
I would
Eddie's.
do shows with John there, huh?
You remember John Eddie was connected. His manager at one point was, if you remember, Robert Hazard. Does
Yeah,
that name
of
sound
course.
familiar to you? Robert Hazard was big in Philly back in the '80s.
Right, right,
Huge, huge, with along with the Hooters. So yeah,
right.
I saw all those guys in like the cabarets and stuff in the '80s. So I did catch a lot of music, but I was more of a club guy. But yeah, the Robert Hazard was huge in Philly, huge.
Well, I did
So
shows with
Eddie,
Robert. I did shows with Robert Hazard here in at the Pony, and I actually worked with the Hooters at the Pony also. Back in the
yeah,
'80s, we did a lot of the whole thing with the Cruisers was we used to do a lot of opening acts because the Cruisers were really an original band. We didn't do a lot of covers until later on. So we started doing covers because we would get more money. Doing the original stuff, we would become an opening act, and that was it. Getting everybody get $100, and we'd go on our way.
right
But
now
yeah,
with your song,
I know all those. I remember working with all those guys. Huh?
songwriting. Describe the songwriting or composing process for which you get your ideas from start to finish. What when you're writing your songs? I know you've wrote some songs. When you're writing them, where do you get your ideas from? Where do you what do you like to write about generally your songs?
Well, I guess I'm a romantic, so I like writing love songs. You know, and I mean I like writing groove songs. I write everything. What a lot of times when I write a song, I actually think of an artist that I would like to write for and try to write something in that vein for that person, even though they they would never hear it. But that's how I write it. I say I like to write the song, maybe like just Pink. I love Pink. I think I'll write a song for her. Maybe she would like to do it someday. But it
You
never
know where
goes
she's from,
anywhere.
right?
But huh?
You know where she's from, right?
Yeah, she's from Philly.
She's actually from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Went to
Oh,
Central
Doylestown,
West
right?
High School, CB West High School. That school I used to broadcast high school football for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's from that. My one friend's son was really good friends with her in high school.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
yeah.
very
So
talented.
it's funny that I bring her up then because it's just that's how I write. And then like you hear a song and you say, I want to write a song like that. You know, I want to write a funky tune or I like that funky groove, and I want to write something that's got like a funk to that. It's like I don't know, different ideas. They just come to you, and you say, "I'll write a love song." I love writing love songs. I like writing. I'll write a country tune. I don't know. I'll write anything. I'll just the way I write is for myself, and then I think, ah, maybe I'll write a song for some country artist. I wrote a song for Eric Church. He'll never hear it, but I was like, Eric Church would be good doing this song. You know,
What is your most memorable live performance you've ever done? It could be
My
for any
most
reason. Memorable. It could be someone played with you, or it could be the crowd. What is the most memorable that'll live with you forever?
all of them actually, because they're all unique in their own ways. But if you want me to pick, obviously, um, well, I did the Jersey Artist for Mankind. If you'd never even heard of that, probably it was like a thing back in '84. I mean '86, and actually, we're thinking about doing a 40-year show. I started this thing called Jersey Artist for Mankind, and then Lee Maricky from the Pony got behind it. He got Bruce on it. He got Southside on it. He got Frankie Valli on it. All of a sudden, it became this huge, huge thing. It was for hunger for the food banks in Monmouth County, and that was fun making the record and being around. All the guys from Bruce's band. Gary Talent was very influential. Max played drums on it. Bruce played guitar on it. Frankie Valli, Tal Farlow, who was a jazz guy in Jersey, big guy. Um, like I said, Southside. A lot of guys from Southside's band played on. So Bobby Bandiera and Harry and Joel wrote and I think Glenn Burtnick, I'm not sure, wrote a song that became the A side. My song became the B side, and that was fun time. And then we did some big shows in New York for it, with all the stars and everything. But I think a lot of things I've done it musically. A lot of people don't know we used to back up a lot of oldies acts as the Cruisers. That's how I met Gary U.S. Bonds. Gary was a big, big influence to me. Still is. Love the guy to death. Um, I met so many of my heroes playing oldies music. I met Wolfman Jack. I met Bowser from Sha Na Na. I met the list. I could sit here for an hour telling you how many people I met. A lot of
I
heroes.
remember that. I remember that show with Sean on I
Yes.
remember that show, watching that on TV.
Well, we used to back them up as a band. So we did a lot of backup work back in the day, you know. And the Soul Cruisers, so Steven from the Soul Cruisers was my sax player. And
Wow.
the Soul, so we were the Cruisers, and then they wanted to go and do the corporate thing and put this band together called the Soul Cruisers. And that's what they did. So we parted ways because I was still headstrong into being a songwriter and play. So back in the day, we would do some covers and we would do some originals. We mixed it up every night, and we didn't get a lot of work, but we worked enough. And those guys, after a while, they were like, you know, we're going to go this route, and that's what they became, the Soul Cruisers. And I have no hard feelings that everybody's got to go make a living. And Steve has done a wonderful job with those guys. I mean, he's you know, I think they're together 30 years now already or something like that.
They're
So
huge in Philly. They're huge. They are huge in Philly, man.
yeah.
Wherever they go in Philly, I have a lot of friends that go to see them in Philly and also down in South Jersey Shore.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wherever they go, they pack them in. I've been to Point Pleasant on Thursday nights many a times. They just pack them in like a can of sardines. It is just, and they're excellent. And I can see
Oh yeah.
why they pack them in.
Great
And we
band.
almost
Great
lost
band.
Steve too. Steve, I mean, a few years ago with COVID, man, he got through that. I know we almost
Right.
lost him. I
Yeah.
talked to him a few times. I was like, and he told me the stories. I'm like, wow. I
So
mean,
during
I said,
COVID,
thank God.
I wrote that song, "Stand Up."
Okay.
Did you ever
Yeah.
see it?
I don't think I did.
Oh, it's a video. You go on YouTube and see it. It's called "Stand Up." That's how it's done. And the ending of the the song is Stephen coming out of the hospital. So
I mean,
it's pretty
every time I
touching.
see him, every time I see him, man, I just like, wow, just
Yeah.
how close he came. I mean, the guy wasn't ready for him yet. Thank
No,
goodness, because
no.
he's an
And let me
excellent
tell you
performer.
something. Not for nothing, but his wife was, they wanted to put a trach in his throat and all this other stuff, and his wife wouldn't allow any of that. I mean, his wife was like a real rock for him because he's unable to make decisions. She made all the
Correct.
right decisions for him. Otherwise, he would have never blown a saxophone again. You know,
Right.
so we have to know who's in our corner. Our wives, girlfriends, whatever. They're always they're always got our back. So that's pretty important.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Here we're gonna get a nice topic here, and I love this avenue, but it can also be a bad avenue. With regarding to streaming and social media, has it changed? How has that changed the music industry for you?
Well, there's no money in selling records or anything like that. You have to, as far as songs,
I, I guess getting your name out there. I know you have a good social media guy.
listen,
Um,
if you want to know about social media, Tommy Byrne is he's the king, man, for us. He's taken us from I think when he got us, we had 4,000 followers. I don't even know how many followers we have now. Maybe 8, 9, 10,000. I don't even know. But everything Tommy does, well, not everything. I have to I have to slow him down sometimes. This is one creative kid. He's creative. He's energetic. He he's just a great person, and he's great for us. We love him. He loves us, and it's a great mix. He doesn't, he always is out for the best interest of the band. So as far as social media and TikTok and stuff, we've had things like go viral that are ridiculous, you know. But I think we went viral with something from River Rock. Uh, I think the song was "Have You Ever Seen the Rain." A million bands do "Have You Ever Seen the Rain," but just for some reason it caught on with us, and it went viral, and it was great. So Tommy knows how to work it. Tommy's a great kid, man. And by the way, I was talking to him today. He told me how much you love the Mets.
There you go. You're going to bring that up, huh? I was going to say, he's excellent with his sports, and we had a little falling out for a little bit because he's got to understand me. I know sports pretty well, and I joke about it, and I might come across a little intense. He knows his sports. I'll give him his kudos,
Yeah,
but
he does.
he's a huge Met fan. I have to bust his stones on that. He's a huge Raider fan. I
Right.
bust his stones on that, and he's a huge Laker fan. I used to be a Laker fan, but I'm not a LeBron fan. So we go back and forth. We need a little rest from each other. We got to get to
Oh,
know each other a little bit. Understand? I only joke with him, but I
right.
just, it's just, I see what he does for you guys, and I'd be a fool not to mention him because he does. I see what he does, and he knows his stuff. He knows his
He
stuff.
does,
I have
man.
to give him kudos for that.
He'll ask
So,
me to
what was
do
the best piece of advice you've ever gotten from somebody that changed you?
the best piece of advice that I ever got from anybody.
Yes, that changed your life, or could it be anything? It could be musical, it could be in your life. I mean, what's the best piece of advice that you gotten and it worked for you? You took the advice and ran
Well,
with it.
listen, the best piece of advice I ever got was from my mother, and that's to be kind, be loving, be caring, and that's how I live my life. So I think that's the best piece of advice we can give any of our kids or our friends. Just enjoy life, be kind to others. Don't be jealous. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. I don't get mad at if someone did something or got something better than me. Or I'm happy in my own skin. I'm happy with my life. Of course, everybody says, "I wish I had that. This happened to me." Listen, nobody goes into music as a songwriter and says, Oh, I'll just be okay sitting in my room playing the guitar. You're writing songs. You want them to get published. You want them to get taken by somebody, or you want to become the star. So I'm not going to say I didn't wish for that. And I'm 68 years old now. I still wish for it. I still go in my room where I'm at right now, and I pick up my guitar and I write words and I write songs and I go in the studio and I record because now it's for me. If somebody ever hears it and says, I want to get it, I want to use it, hey, that's great. But I'm going to say when I was younger, of course, I wanted that. But if it didn't happen, I've met so many great people musically in the music world and am still meeting people. How much better can it get? But the advice, that's easy. Don't hurt people. Don't let people take advantage of you. Be humble and love everybody. That's the message. That's what I think is good in the Eddie Testa band. I think we all feel that. Like we're here to entertain. It's a cliche to say we're here to take you away so you feel good for the next 3.5 hours or 4 hours. Every band wants you to do that. Every band that performs wants people that come to see them to have a great time for the time we're together. But what people don't understand is that when you come, I might be having a bad day. I might be down about something. Somebody in my family might have passed, or whatever the case is. So I feed off of that too. Having people there makes me feel better, and so it's a give and take for I think for both sides. So advice is what I learned as a young kid and how I've always lived my life.
You weren't a musician. And before I ask this question, Eddie's got the best chicken you'll ever have in this area in Chicken Town. If you weren't a musician, what career path would you have taken?
Um, well, I've always been a hard worker. I've always had a job, day job. Um, so uh, I think it, I should have been a full time musician younger instead of worrying about making money and maybe more into my craft where I didn't need a lot of money to live. Where I always felt I needed to make money. Well, I did always need to make money. I had bills. My mother raised 7 kids on her own. You know,
Wow.
so my mother and father weren't together. My father left when I was young, and I always had to make money, and I always made money. Knock wood, thank God. I've always been very, I'm a worker. I like to work. I like to be busy. That's another thing with the band. I like to be busy, so it keeps me busy. And when you're at a chicken store all day cooking chicken, sometimes you're not the most happiest person. You're like, here I am. You know, I used to always kid around to people. I say, you know how people go to prison for the weekend? Well,
That's yeah.
I'm in chicken hell 5 days a week, and I get to go play music, and I get to go out and enjoy myself. So
I'd rather be in chicken hell. I'd rather be in chicken hell than prison. Trust me.
absolutely. No, you know what I'm saying. Because
I do. I
when
do.
you're in there, you're
Of
in
course.
there. And listen, the store has been great. 31 years we're there, owned it, and the store has been fantastic to us. It never made a ton of money, but it always made enough to live, and
Well, let's give a
we're
free
happy with it.
shout out to the place right now, guys. If you've never been to Chicken Town in Tom's River, get your ass there. They got
Fiction
great chicken
Boulevard.
and and great fish sandwiches. My girlfriend will attest to the fish sandwiches. So
Yeah,
if you've
drive
never
all the
been
way.
there, you need to go out of your way and go there.
Yeah, they do.
I go down there. I stop by and see you.
I know. A lot of people
So,
come by.
what do you when you're performing? Okay, what do you hope the audience feels or takes away when they leave your performance?
That they had such a good time that they want to come back. That's basically what we want. We want people to enjoy themselves while they're there, and hopefully, next time they think about going out, that they come back and see us. That they have such a good time that they come back.
They don't. They come back in droves. You know that.
Well,
They
some
come
do,
back in
some
droves.
don't. But
That says a lot about you, man. That says a lot about you guys. I
no.
mean, they
Listen,
all come. You have a following.
we're very appreciative of everybody that comes. And the thing is, what's hardest? The hardest thing is that we become friends with everybody that comes there. And when you were at Bar A yesterday, we probably knew probably 95% of the people in some capacity. And we always make sure and if we can't, we can't, but we always try to make sure we go over and say hello and thank them for coming. And, we have a, we have a great, person besides Tommy, Donna Bruno, who is like, we call her Donna, the activity director. You know, Donna.
I know Donna.
And, she keeps everybody in the loop, whether they want to be there or not, and they can always find out where things are happening. She doesn't just advertise us; she'll advertise anybody, other people, other bands, other places, other things. But she's been such a great friend to us, and that's what I say. Like, I went I went to a party last night. There was probably 60 people there, and they were all people that were met through the band that now are all friends together. So how beautiful is that?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like a whole new family.
Well, I got to give her kudos. She allowed me to post to her social page because I wanted to get as many people there to the podcast as possible. So she where she gets her energy is absolutely beyond me, man. I go on social, like when I don't go out, social media is like entertainment. I get it. I see everybody's going, what's going on.
Right.
The energy level of her is incredible, and I see why people flock to her. She's got a ton of energy. I wish I had that much energy. It's crazy.
Well, so she does. She does. I mean, the minute she gets home, she posts 100 pictures from the night or the evening of.
Correct.
She'll go to 2, 3 different bars in one night. I don't even do that, but
Energy
her
level's
her
insane. It's crazy.
so her husband Eddie is just as energetic because Eddie makes all the signs, all those happy birthday signs, happy Memorial Day signs, uh, whatever, congratulations signs. Eddie does all that work too. So there's like 4 or 5 of them: Loretta, Mario, Eddie, Donna. I don't know who else is involved, but I'm sure Dale and them help out. Also, friends of theirs, and they all they all put it together. But Donna, she's a force to be reckoned with. She gets cakes, she gets this, she does it all, and they're so good to me. I mean, they're great to me. I love them all.
I don't blame you, man. I mean, they're there for you all the time. I gotta give them their
Absolutely.
kudos. I gotta give them their kudos. Really, I
Yeah,
do. Who is your dream collaboration, living or dead, musician or not, that if you could get together with and perform, who would it be?
I have a few. Obviously,
Go ahead.
Elvis. I'd love to do something with Bruce. You know, uh, I came up with a concept that a lot of other people have come up with also. Um, I wanted to do something with him, like a charity thing. I wanted to call it because we're both from Frito Borough, and I wanted to call it the Borough Boys. And a couple of my other friends have reached out and said that to me. I said, "Yeah, I already thought of that," but you know, other people think of it too. It's nothing unique. But I would love to do something with him, like a 4 song, something like a charity thing, whatever. I've tried to approach him on it, but it's hard. It's hard because he's not going to talk to you wherever he is, and to get to his management, I don't know if he's into doing stuff like that anymore. He just, I don't know what he wants to do. but it's something that I would like to do. And then, of course, the Beatles. Why wouldn't any of? I'll take any of the Beatles.
If you had one message to your fans and your following, what would that be to all of them?
If I have a message to anybody who comes to see us, uh, enjoy life, enjoy each other, have fun, and always keep the party going because you're here today and gone tomorrow. So love one another and have fun and put all the bullshit to the side and just come out and have a good time.
What is the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
Me?
Yes, we won't tell our significant others. What's the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
Oh boy. Uh, I don't think I've ever gotten in any trouble. I've never
Come
gotten
on,
in
we
any.
all, we all have. Come on, we
I
all
mean,
have our skeletons. We all gotten in trouble.
when I was 16, I got arrested in at the Osprey. They put
Oh,
me in jail.
jeez.
I got into a
Jeez.
fight at the Osprey with like four other guys that I was hanging out with, and I guess because the drinking age was 18 back then.
It's always
But
alcohol involved. I mean, nothing good happens when there's alcohol involved. Always remember
well,
that.
I just got there. I really wasn't even drinking. I just got in, and my friends were in there, and I was 16, and I would get into every bar in on the Jersey Shore. I mean, I was a fixture at the Pony, at the Fast Lane. I was 16, 17 years old getting in all these bars. And I went to the Osprey, and everybody there knew me. And I walked in, and a couple of my friends were there who were of age. And a fight spilled out to the street. And I went out to, of course, help my friends. And the cops came and took us, brought us to the police station, put us in jail for the night. And then when they found out I was 16, they had to call my father. My father had to come and get me because my mother was away.
Oh boy. Oh
But
boy.
so
That's
my
never
father was
fun
like,
when
"All
the
right, what
parents get
happened?"
called.
I said, "This is what happened." He goes, "The only thing I'm mad about is that you were in a bar." I was like, "But I wasn't. But my
The
father
drinking
didn't
age
even
was.
live with me at the time. He
There
just
you
I had
go.
to call somebody, and he was the only I had to. I had he was the only one I could get in touch with. But my father
Well,
wasn't really in my life at that time that much.
right. I'm a big sports fan. Now I'm going to get into some sports where they're going to make it real easy for you.
Okay.
Um, did you play sports as a kid?
Yes,
What was your favorite sport?
absolutely football.
What's your favorite football team?
I don't have a favorite football team. I am a football fan. I love good football. I love watching great teams. I like certain people on different teams, uh, but I like good I like good football. Like today's game was great, right? Did you watch it?
I watched it, and there's another game going on right now. I'll catch the tail end of it. I watched it. Then what happened was I was watching the game, and they said flurries were going to come. They got more than flurries in Denver for
That's
sure.
right. But listen, man,
That's
that
flurries.
that's football. That's real
I
football to me.
know.
It was great. But I like football. Listen, I'm in New Jersey. It's like you always got to root for the Giants and the Jets and the home teams. But like if they don't make it, then you move to. I can move to another team because I've never officially had a team. But I'll go to a Giant game. I'll go to a Jet game. I'll go to a Green Bay game if I could. I like football. I love football.
I can agree with you at that because people ask me, "What's your favorite sport?" And I like them all. But if you put a gun to my head, it's football because I can go to a good high school game. And I used to broadcast for the top team in Pennsylvania and won state titles. And I still go back home to watch a good high school game. I love college football, and I love the pros. So I can agree with you. I can watch a good football game all day long. So
Yeah,
I agree with
I
you.
can watch football. I can watch college football. I can watch, pros. I like uh I like I like college stuff a little better. On baseball. I love watching girls softball. That shit is banging, man. Those girls can pitch.
They can
'Cause I
play.
used to play
You watch.
softball. I used to play fast pitch softball. I could never pitch
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah.
I played the arc in bar leagues and stuff. So yeah,
Well,
I
I
played
played
softball too.
arc. After a while I played arc.
Yeah,
But
it's a high arc and compared to windmill softball, two different animals, two different
absolutely.
animals.
Yeah.
So what's on your schedule the rest of the year? And then I'm going to let you go. You've gone on me. We could talk forever. And I really appreciate coming on with me for this time. I
Well,
know
thanks
you're
for
very
having me.
busy.
So,
So what is your
uh,
schedule coming up?
Saturday, January 31st, we are at the Marina Grill from 8:30 to 11:30. And then we got that big show at the Stone Pony on February 7th with the Asbury Jukes. And I hope everybody gets their tickets because I don't know how many are left. We don't have many left. So if you're
Social media
planning
guys
on
tell me
going,
I see that the tickets are going fast. So I
yeah,
guess
they are.
everybody wants to get to the pony to see that show. So I
Well,
think we
it's going to
might be
be a
going.
good
I'm not
show.
sure.
What?
I think we might be going to that. I'm not positive yet.
All right. Well, it's like I said earlier, you know, we don't want people to pay for a ticket to come and see us do American Girl. We want you to come and see a show with different music, different singers. I got Ilya's wife as one of the singers. I got this girl Allison, and I got this guy Larry singing. They did the vocal show with us, and they're just absolutely terrific. And each one of them are going to do a song themselves. We might do a song together. Each one of us like do a duet type of thing. And then we of course we do the Southside Johnny tunes at the end of the night. But we do all different stuff that we never normally do. So it'd be exciting. It'd be fun.
You mentioned Iliad, and if people don't understand, his wife used to be a backup singer for Lisa and the Colt Champ.
Well, she still is, but not as much
She
as
still
she
does
was.
it?
She does it, but
Still does
only
it with her?
in the local when it's in the tri-state area. She doesn't fly to California every weekend and Nevada and everywhere else she's got to be.
I'm sure
So,
Iliad wouldn't mind that, right?
no, he does mind it because they got a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old.
I know. I'm only kidding. I know. I have to
So,
get him on with me with his wife because I'm sure she's got some great stories. Eddie, I
oh, I'm
really,
sure.
thank you. You were my first on my live guest. I couldn't think of anybody better here, and
Well,
we could talk forever. And I really appreciate coming on with me. I know you're extremely busy. I know you're not feeling well, and I thank you. And I really appreciate you putting up with my lack of technical skills the other night.
it's not a problem, man. We got it done. It was fun and I enjoyed it, and I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ed. You have a great night. All right.
All right, you too, man. Thank you.
Take it easy. Bye bye.
All right.
What's up, Brad?
How's it going?
I saw you that you wanted to come on board. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I should have had you help me with my technical issues. We figured it out.
Wednesdays are not a good day of the week for that because I'm often busy on Wednesdays, just so you know. Like
So what
Wednesdays
do you
are
want to
probably
say?
like Mondays or Sundays, Mondays and Tuesdays are the best day of the week to do podcast stuff with you. And for the other stuff going on, obviously check out TESTA Stone Pony. It's going to be off the chains. I'm all signed up, ready to go. And before that, on both the 6th and the 7th, it's a doubleheader weekend with Mushmouth. They're at Wonder Bar on the 6th. That is a ticketed event, so get signed up. And Martell's in the building on the 7th from 1 to 5. And the viewing lines will have plenty of time to make the transition without missing anything. And as per TESTA, I'm glad I met him over the years. And I think you and Marie were with me the first time I ever saw him at River Rock when I got overruled on the cliffs for him. And I'm glad that it happened because here we are now. Because I met Donna Bruno a few months after that.
Nice.
And I feel like I'm
Thanks
sort
for
of
holding for me, man.
I feel like I'm sort of one step ahead of her because I'm always looking at the website, seeing what's coming, so I know what we're doing. I can kind of figure out where they're headed to and can go from there.
Gotcha. Hey, well, thanks for holding. I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to let you go. I'll talk to you
Great.
soon. All right.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Take it easy, brother. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you coming on. I apologize. Like I said, we got through it. It was great. I could have talked to Eddie forever. I hope everybody had a good time with the podcast with Eddie. I hope to have some more people on board. I'm working on somebody for February. I'm going to have, I like doing this. This is what I'm strong at. You know, Eddie talked about him being a musician. My dream was always to be a broadcaster and have my own show. This for me is easy. I'm trying to learn the technical aspects of it, trying to put it together. And that's where I get help from other people. I appreciate all of you listening and watching this tonight on a snowy, cold night. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it from Eddie. It was awesome. I could have talked to him for another hour. So stay tuned for more of my podcasts in the future and live guests. I will post it and let you all know. Again, thank you, everyone. I love you all. Thank you. Have a great night.